Welcome to the Crystal Palace and the new lantern. Live music, beer, ATM, pork ribs. Nice benches here. Well done. The moccasin shop. Moccasin. I don't think they're talking about the snakes. I think they're talking about shoes. The Roadrunner Western Store. Stetsons. The Haunted Hotel. Ike Clanton's Haunted Hotel. Thrilling walk-through attraction. Tour entrance, Ghosts and Legends. Penny Pincher, what does that mean? You're getting the walking tour right here of up downtown Tombstone. Colorful. The Red Buffalo Trading Company. Look at these 10 walls, I like that. One for each of you. Old Guys Rule. All Hearts Home for Christmas. Caution Gunfighter Crossing. All right, let's see what the history of the Camel and Hat Saloon Billiard Parlor. Billiard Parlor from 1880. Bob Pepys was a colorful character and an amateur thespian. What is a thespian? It was said he kept a jar of frogs on the counter as the croaking helped him predict the weather. He followed Earps to the famous gunfight, assisted in removing the gun from dying Billy Clanton's hand, and testified in the hearing. A few months later, he was playing a game of billiards with Morgan Earp when the back window was shattered by a gunshot and Morgan fell, mortally wounded, died within an hour. Hatch ran for the sheriff in 1885, but was defeated by John Slaughter. Campbell ran several saloons in Tombstone and served as a city councilman for years. The saloon and billiard parlor burned in 1882 fire and was one of the first to be rebuilt. Prohibition closed all the saloons in 1914. This area was deteriorated badly the following years. In 1945, the old building was remodeled for a new business. Business for sale. When you stop believing in Santa Claus, you'll start getting underwear for Christmas. Skulls, hides. The Bronco Mercantile. Now, what is this right here for? Some kind of booth for something. Politicians scrape shit from your boots before entering. Oh boy, that's a good one. Superstition Sue. All right, she's got her nickname. The Cosmopolitan Hotel. 1789, Carl Balicki opened a hotel in a tent. He was the first to offer beds rather than cots. A few months later, the tents were replaced with a new two-story building with 50 beds, black walnut and rosewood furnishings, a ladies' sitting room, Tombstone's first piano. There was a restaurant, bar, and general merchandise. When completed, there was a lovely veranda lined with orange trees. Some described it as the finest building in the city. In June 1880, the Cosmopolitan was the scene of a martial dispute that left Mike Killeen dead. His estranged wife, May, left a dance and was escorted by Frank Leslie. As they were seated in the veranda, Mike Kildene arrived. Gunshots erupted. Two of the three men seen grappling on the veranda. Frank Leslie had two superficial wounds to his head, and Killeen was shot through the chest. Authorities were never able to determine who fired the first shot. The Cosmopolitan burned in the 1882 fire. Boy, that thing must have wiped out the town, huh? And we have a vacant lot here. Got the slab ready for another tourist-oriented business. The Shady Lady. Check out the front door here, huh? Clothing, ladies' clothing, sweaters, alpacas. All right, look at the ceiling here. This is the Orleans Indian Trading Post. Let's see what the history of Orleans is. Brown's Hotel and Hafford's Saloon. 1789, Charles Brown opened the Mojave Hotel, one of the first hash houses in a tent on this corner. What is a hash house? Can't remember. Is it like a boarding house? By 1880, he erected a two-story adobe building. The building was called the Brown Hotel. On the second floor, he had a kitchen large enough for to feed 300 guests. The first floor was leased to Hartford Saloon. Colonel Hafford's loved birds, and the walls of the saloon were covered with pictures of them. Brown's Hotel and Hafford's Saloon were destroyed in the 1882 fire and were not reopened. Brown left in California. Colonel Hartford returned and opened another saloon. He was Tombstone's earliest ornithologist. Does that have something to do with birds? He and Olapone assembled a collection of 2,000 specimens, from the Wachucha Mountains, which were sent to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. Wow. You learn all kinds of stuff when you're strolling around Tombstone. Look at this. It's like carved marble. Well, I found it. I drove on Main Street when I wasn't supposed to, but it was early in the morning, so I got by with it. Yeah, I like having the whole place to myself. That's an elegant building there. Here you go, a wagon wheel bench. I like that. Old-time can photos. Let's see what kind of ombre we got here. Tasting room, Arizona wines, the winery tasting room. Wine now cheaper than gas. Don't drink and drive. Outlaws, teas, books, and more. No, t-shirts, that's what it means. Outlaw, teas, books, and more. Some towns have a story. Tombstone has a legend. A gunfight, October 26, 1881. When you're hot, you're hot. Arizona, it's a dry heat. Justice is coming. Tell him I'm coming and hell's coming with me. At least these places are closed Thanksgiving Day, which is a good thing, I think. The Historama, it's hard to pronounce, stand on the most famous ground in Arizona. See the OK Corral shootout, site number 9. 9 life-size figures of the Earp brothers and the Doc Holliday and Outlaw Cowboys. See 1880s wagons and buggies. See C.S. Fly's photographs including Geronimo's surrender to the U.S. Army. See Big Nose Kate's room, Doc Holliday's girlfriend, and much more. Tombstone Apache Geronimo exhibit. Yeah, the Apaches lived nearby. Could this be it? Could this be the famous OK Corral? Here's the snack corral with the famous and quaint wagon wheel benches. OK Corral, feed, livery. Through these doors, history was made. The Aurero Depot is now, not sure what this bale of hay is, it's now the library. That's a cool reuse of the building, huh? It was the Southern Pacific Train Railroad. The railroad reached Tucson in March 1880. Richard Garrett had a railroad spike crafted of solid silver from Tough Nut Mine. It was presented to the president of Southern Pacific Railroad as an inducement to bring the railroad spur to Tombstone. The solid silver spike disappeared into the gentleman's collection, and so did Tombstone's hopes of railroad service for many years. Spurs were built in Nogales, Benson, Contention, Fairbanks, and in the early 1880s finally reached Tombstone in 1903. A huge celebration was held in April with over 2,000 guests attending. Southern Pacific provided freight and passenger service to Tombstone until 1961. In spite of Tombstone's best efforts to retain service, it was discontinued and the rails were removed. In 1961, Southern Pacific donated the depot to the city of Tombstone. The city turned it into its first permanent home for the Tombstone Library. This is the original depot built in 1903. There's blooms on this, is this a Palo Verde? I don't know what this tree, bush is, shrub, whatever it is. Southern Pacific caboose. The Eldorado chuck wagon, eatery. You know, I smell barbecue cooking. Wonder where that smell's coming from. It smells deadgum good. I haven't had breakfast yet. I'm doing the early morning Thanksgiving pre-crowd dog walkers tour. Oh my God, look at this guy hanging there. Didn't even notice him. Justice was swift. In Tombstone, Eldorado Town. Western Theme Park, free entry. Miner shack. Yard ornaments. You gotta have a couple of commodes. All right, this is the famous Tombstone Courthouse. And look at this two-story. This looks like a new building. Two-story and then one-story. Just like a duplex, is that what that is? Maybe it's a rental. Palm trees. Fleur de Lys Gate. Downtown Tombstone. Wyatt's Hotel. Alright, Hoptown was a Chinese section. 1879, there were 11 people in Tombstone of Chinese descent. China Mary, said to control Hoptown. She was an employment broker who guaranteed that her employees would not cheat or steal. She also ran the opium dens and the Chinese prostitution. At one point, there was an anti-Chinese league formed that asked for residents to refuse to trade with Chinese-owned businesses. In spite of this, many Chinese operate long-term successful businesses. There is a Chinese section in Boot Hill Graveyard where China Mary and Quan Ki are buried. This is like a little mine decoration for this place next door, the saloon, Four Deuces Saloon. There's a header. You got some of the cables, winches. This is a steam boiler. You got a little replica of a mine with a little ore cart. And this is an outdoor cafe. It's pretty nice. Tombstone City Park. Gazebo. Picnic tables.